Are you a voracious reader? Are you in need of and looking for a brand new book to read because you've already read through a bunch of others? Are you interested in reading books about dragons, elves, magic, and hopefully vampires that don't sparkle? No, I'm not talking about my books. Well, maybe my books. Hi, I'm indie author and vlogger Garrett K. Jones, and this month I'm doing a special countdown/forming fantasy hybrid episode. Welcome to Falling into Fantasy. Happy weekend. Today on Falling into Fantasy, I'm doing an extra special fall-themed countdown video of all my favorite recommendations for fantasy titles and series that I think you guys should read. Before I get into the list, however, I just want to remind you to subscribe and click the bell for notifications on new videos. You can set notifications for all videos, or you can be more selective by personalizing which videos you want to see. So, let's get into the countdown. At number 10, we have Dealing with Dragons by Patricia C. Wrede. This book is the first of the 4 books in the Enchanted Forest Chronicles and is a really excellent read. It was one of the first fantasy books that I ever read, and it was instrumental in guiding me towards being a writer myself. It's appropriate for young ages and older adults. This is an especially good book if you have a young daughter at home because the central character, Princess Cimarine, is strong, independent, and anything but conventional. Number 9 is Eragon by Christopher Paolini. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Isn't that the story that was turned into a really terrible movie 13 years ago? Well, you're right. It is. And as crummy as the movie turned out, the book is definitely a better read, even if it does feel like the author ripped off the exact plot of Star Wars. I mean, come on. The dragon, she doubles as both Chewbacca and the Millennium Falcon. Let's get real. It follows the typical trend of the hero's journey to a T. While the story itself is a little by the numbers, the descriptions of the landscape are surprisingly original. It's also the first of the 4 books in the Inheritance cycle. Number 8, The Hobbit by JRR Tolkien. I'm probably going to receive a lot of flack for putting this where it is on my list. But to be fair, as awesome as the book is, and it is a seminal classic and template for modern fantasy, I've encountered other books that I enjoy as well, if not more, than this masterpiece. Even still, if you're a fan of adventure and goblins, dwarves, dragons, and treasure hunts, you will love this book. In fact, you can probably read it in less time than it takes to watch the Hobbit film trilogy. Number 7 is Dragons of the Cuyahoga by S. Andrew Swann. This is a speculative urban fantasy story. Now imagine the modern world where a magic portal bringing forth all manner of mythical creatures has opened up over the city of Cleveland. I know, right? Of all the places! Anyway, the story takes place 10 years after the portal has opened and centers on a City Hall reporter following the clues of a very interesting conspiracy in a magical twist to a modern political mystery. Number 6 is actually the Night Angel Trilogy by Brent. This series starts with Book 1, The Way of Shadows, which follows an assassin named Durzo Blint as he trains a new protege named Azoth. An interesting read that puts a fantasy twist on the life of someone working in the seedy underground of the criminal world. You can also find the first book in graphic novel format, and there is an ebook novella called Perfect Shadow. Very excellent series to get into. Number 5 is Amuse by Karma Marie. This urban fantasy is filled with magical possibility as Callie, the central character, uses a magic key to open doors to travel to fantastical realms. It's available through Amazon on paperback, Kindle, and audiobook. I'm listening to the audiobook now, and it is a great read from my friend Karma Marie. Number 4 is Shadow Dance by John Harrison. This is the first in the Shadow Saga, and it is a really awesome and intricate tale of prophecy, political intrigue, and self-discovery as a young boy named Namir is caught up in his country's civil unrest while searching for information about his late father's past. John's entire series can be found on Amazon via paperback, hardback, Kindle, and audiobook. At number 3, we have The Amulet of Samarkand by Jonathan Stroud. This is the first book in the Bartimaeus trilogy, and it follows 2 characters. The titular Bartimaeus, an ancient 4th level djinn who has served various important figures throughout history, and Nathaniel, a magician who summons Bartimaeus into service. The trilogy is excellent and explores and speculates on a modern world where the positions of political power are held by magicians and magic of various kinds and cultures is all around. The story is told in 2 voices. The chapters following Bartimaeus are told from the djinn's first-person POV, and the chapters following Nathaniel or any of the other characters is told from a third-person POV. Our number 2 entry is actually a follow-up on number 3, The Ring of Solomon. This is Stroud's second appearance in this list, and for good reason. While technically the 4th Bartimaeus story published, this one acts as a prequel detailing the spirit's time in service to the court of King Solomon of Israel. With its blend of ancient Near East mythos and its own inclusion of the world building established in the trilogy, I love this book. And after a brief exchange on Twitter with the author, there might be something new in the works. Maybe, fingers crossed, that there might be a 5th book featuring the djinn being developed. Finally, number 1 is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. Stardust is a fantasy epic that, like Coraline or Neverwhere, deals with the possibility of what were to happen if there was a magic world separated from ours by something very innocuous. In this case, a 3-foot-high wall. Tristan is the hero of the story, trying to win the affections of the woman he loves by crossing the wall to retrieve a fallen star, and he gets himself mixed up in the political rivalry of a dead king's sons, sky pirates, and witches looking for the star. You might have seen this as a film from 2007 on Netflix, starring Claire Danes, Robert De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer, and a pre-Daredevil Charlie Cox. There's also a very blonde and mustachioed pre-Superman Henry Cavill in the film. So which of these books have you heard of before? Are there any you think I should have listed? Go ahead and leave your suggestions in the comments. Hey, thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please consider becoming a supporter on Patreon by clicking the link in the description below. If the vlogs aren't enough for you, I have a podcast. It's called Creator's Corner, which can be found on Anchor.fm, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, just to name a few platforms. New episodes for that come out every Monday, and this next episode focuses on writing environments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GKJ_publishing. I love interacting with fans. Check out some of these other videos, and I'll see you at the start of December for the first of the last few vlogs for 2019. Have a great weekend.